Hello all my beautiful sisters from those other misters, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing an update of my 2019 project pan. So this is a full face rolling project pan, so I have full face products and every time I use one up I will introduce a new product. This is also kind of like a collaborative thing this year. We're using the hashtag Team Project Pan to sort of get together with other project panners who are like-minded and want to use up their products. So I am doing my first update. Last month I introduced all of my products. I have a lot of them. I'm going to start with my empties, and I think I'll start with these two here. I've got the Revlon Kiss Balm in Apple. I finished that off. Wasn't difficult. It took me like 2 weeks of regular use, so I wasn't surprised that I finished that one up. I'm just glad to have it out of my stash. I love the formula of these. I just didn't like this particular color. The other lip product that I have is from MAC. This is the Paint and Polish lip pencil in Innocent. So this was like a really light lip gloss type product. It's really light. Like you can, when I put it on my lips, it looks like sort of like a translucent white gloss. I wouldn't buy it. I like the formula, but the color is just, it's not for me. But it wasn't hard to finish up. This was like a mini that came in one of the Christmas sets. There wasn't much product in there. What was it? Oh, 1.1 gram. Okay, there was apparently more product in there than I thought, but most of it's probably down in here. I'm not going to scoop it out. I didn't love it enough to do that. Another product that I finished, no surprise here, my bronzer from Too Faced. This is the Chocolate Soleil. I only had the tiniest bit in this and I threw it in as a gimme product just in case I didn't finish off any products in January. I knew that I'd be able to finish this one, so there we go. That was easy. I think we all knew that that was going to be finished. My last product that I managed to finish in January is this guy. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Wardrobe, and it is all done. I'm very pleased with myself. I worked on this all year last year, and it even had use before that. And I just smashed it out in January, used it on my face and my body. It was kind of good. Like I had this side, I used that up very early in January, and then this side, which was so much darker and too dark for my skin, I developed a really nice tan while I was in Bali, so I was able to use that darker shade on my face and my body to finish it up. So I'm so glad that that is done. That was taking a really long time to get through, but I did it. It's done. Hallelujah. My bad, not my last product. Last product is this little guy. This is the Opi Nail Lacquer in, I don't know, something. I'll put it on the screen. There was only like half a bottle in there, and I've got a tiny bit at the bottom of the bottle. It's not even enough to do one application, so I'm calling this quits. It was fine. The color is, it's a strange color because it's kind of translucent, but it also has a white base, so it looks extremely streaky on the nails. Not a color I would buy again, and if it somehow came into my collection, I wouldn't even use it. Alright, I'm gonna go through my products with progress. Starting with primer. This is the Rimmel, not that you can see it, Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. So I was here when I introduced it into the project, and now I am down here. This is okay. It's just my skin does not respond well to mattifying primers anymore. This one, I can sort of get away with it because it's kind of like a lotion, like when you put it on, but throughout the day I can feel that my skin is just not, it doesn't like it. It doesn't like it. I feel like my skin sort of overcompensates with oil because I'm wearing this, and I feel like I'm just better off without it. So I think this is the end of the road for me with mattifying primers. I'm gonna try and use it up because I went to Bali for a week in January, and I didn't use this very often, and seeing how much I got through not using it very often, I'm confident that I can find a few times throughout February to manage to finish it up. But yeah, I think the days of mattifying primer and me getting along are done and dusted. Foundation, I've got my Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1. So I was up here at the last or at the introduction, and it doesn't look like I've used much, but when I look into the bottle, it's actually down here somewhere-ish. So what's sitting here on the sides is just like a thin layer of the foundation. I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna finish this in February. I want it gone. I don't love this. It's okay, but it's not great, and I don't need it in my life anymore. I just want to finish it up. I can use it at this time because this is too dark for me. At the moment with my tan, it's kind of too light for me, which is scary because this was about 4 shades too dark for me, and I had to work to make it match me even slightly, and now it's too light. So I just want to finish it. I want to finish it, and I want to get rid of it and be done with it. Concealer. So I had a bit of an issue in January when I introduced my concealer, which is this guy, the Maybelline Master Conceal. I said that the tip of mine had split right at the base, and every time I was squeezing product out of this, I was getting so frustrated because it wouldn't even come out of the tip. It would just ooze out of the side. And I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna break off that tip and it'll be fine, it'll come out this tip. And then as I'm like breaking it off, I'm like, oh, you freaking idiot. How are you going to screw the cap on when there's nothing to screw it onto? So I sort of sat there for a while going, what the fuck did I just do? And then I was like, okay, well, obviously I just put it in a pot. So that's what I've done. I've squeezed everything out of the tube, had a little hissy fit with the tube, and I've just popped it into this little pot. So that's what I've got. There's a lot of product in there. For my face powder, I had the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores. When I introduced this, it was just under half done, and I've used about, I don't know, maybe half of what was in there, which is great. I don't really like this. I kind of have this weird, sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not good, even in the slightest, relationship with this powder. I really think it depends on the foundation that you're using it with, and since I'm sort of playing around with my foundations at the moment, trying to find something that's working or can work for my colouring and my current skin type. It's a battle, and I tend to try this with whatever I'm wearing on my base, and it doesn't always work. It's not always good. I think I just need to sort of battle through with this, and like they work okay together. They don't look amazing, but I think, yeah, I need this gone because I don't enjoy it more than I do enjoy it, if you know what I'm saying. Blush. Blush is an easy one. This is the Balm Hot Mama blush. It's a little sample. Here it is. I haven't hit pan on it yet, but that's okay. There is a massive dip in there. I reckon I'll definitely hit pan on this in February. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. We'll see. Australis Metallix in Gold Gaga. So this is kind of like a cream eyeshadow base. It's very sparkly, very metallic, very pretty. I like it. I'm still using it. I didn't use it a whole lot in January, but I reached for it probably about half a dozen times, which was quite good in comparison to how often I was using it in my last year's project pan. So look, no real progress to show on that, but I'm using it. I have a Wonderwand mascara from Ciate. This is, look, I can't show you how this is going. All I can say is it's kind of, it's not applying the way that it used to. It's taking a lot more to like build it up on the lashes. And I don't think it's because it's getting like empty, because when I pull it out, it's like covered in product at the end of the wand. I just think it's drying up. So I don't know, I'm just gonna use it until I get sick of it. For my brow products, I have the Colourpop brow color in Blondie. Look, this is just, it's gonna take me a long time. You can see there's a huge chunk of product there on the side. I have cleaned out sort of one side of it, but look, it's gonna take a while. It's not, yeah, it's gonna take forever. There's a lot of product in there. These are like surprisingly pigmented little brow gels. I can tell you, I've been working on this for so long that I am really tired of brow pomades, and I look forward to the day when I can say no more fucking brow pomades. I also have the Benefit 3D brow tones in 2, yes, 2. So this is just like a, it's not really a brow setting product. It will offer a little bit of hold in the brow, but it's more about adding color dimension. So yeah, look, I can't show you the progress, and I didn't use it that often in January. It's not really a product that I'm like, oh, gotta get me those 3D brow tones. Lips. Products that I have left are the Fleshpot Eye and Cheek Gloss. I would never use this on my eyes or my cheeks because it's literally a gloss, and that would be pretty gross. It's extremely pretty. I use it on my lips and it's extremely pretty. So look, it's gonna take me a little while to use it up, but I have actually been using this quite regularly. It's the sort of thing that like I put on over any lip product that I'm wearing and then chuck it in my handbag and take it with me when I'm going out. So it does get quite a bit of use. I'm hoping that'll only really take me maybe a couple of months to use up. One that I think is gonna take me a lot longer is the Colourpop Ultra Satin Lip. This is in the shade Tiny Chum. So when I started this, I was pretty sure that it like sat just below or just at the silver marker here, and now I'm pretty sure it's down to here. What I did was I popped this in a cup of warm water and I let it sit for a while, and it developed this little like line in the product where it looked like it was separating, and then I kind of tipped it back and forth and I could see where the actual product inside was sitting level. So it's around about here somewhere. I only used this, look, maybe 5 times in January, so it's gonna take me a long time to use it, but that's okay. I have a little bit of an idea of how much I would use with like maybe, you know, a week's worth of use. It's not much, but if I can dedicate myself to it, I reckon I can actually finish it. So this is sort of my challenge product, because lip products are the ones that I find hardest to finish, and a liquid lipstick was literally never on my radar of things that I want to pan, but now it is. My pencil products, so I have the Flormar Ultra Copper Eyeliner. This has a little bit of use. I've just been using this to like line my waterline, sometimes a little bit on my lower lash line. I have tried to play around with this as like an all over eye base. I don't particularly like it for that, so I won't continue to do that. I think this one's going to be slow going because of how little I use it, but I do use it regularly. Then I have the Boldy Bare Lip Pencil from MAC. This is a great product. This is a fucking fantastic lip pencil. It has lasted a really long time. It's extremely pigmented. They go on very smooth. You only use a tiny bit of product, so it's going to take me a long time to get through it, but that's okay because it's a pretty universal nude shade that I can use with almost any lip product, which is what I do. Just apply it every day and then put a lip product over the top. It's just going to take me a while to get there. Last of the makeup products, this is the Models Prefer Finale Makeup Setting Mist. I can't use this. I can't use it anymore. You can see I only used a little bit of it, but sometime when I got back from Bali, and I've been back for a week now, I used this at some stage and my eyes started burning. And I didn't put two and two together that it was this. I actually thought maybe I got sunscreen in my eyes or something. And then on Australia Day, I sprayed this on my face just before I went out the front door. And everything was fine. I was fine. There was no issues. And as I'm walking outside, my eyes were burning so badly, and they continued to burn even after this had set. And then I used it today when I finished doing this face, and my eyes burnt again, and they still don't feel right. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it to myself. There's no point. This, I would have got this 50% off at Priceline. It probably cost me less than $10. I'm not putting myself through eye burning for however long it's going to take me to use this just for the sake of finishing up a fucking less than $10 setting spray. I'm not doing it. We did have kind of like a guideline with the project pan that every 3 months to sort of reassess your project pan and swap anything out that wasn't working for you. And I did consider just keeping that in the project, but I thought it's a wasted product. I'm not going to use it. I know that it's like feels bad when I use it, so I'm going to get rid of it now and swap something else in, which I will do coming up very soon. But let's do the like skin stuff, the other products that I put in the project pan to help me use them up. I have the Inhibitive, what are you? Hair-free body serum. So I've used this much of it. And I didn't take this to Bali, so I'm actually really pleased with how much of this I have used just in January. And I think it works. I think it actually works. I feel like my hair is growing slower. Not necessarily sparser, but slower, which is kind of cool. I just use this on my legs. And I've actually been enjoying it. When I introduced this into the project, I mentioned that you're meant to use it twice a day for 2 months until you like start noticing the hair to be less noticeable. And I was like, get stuffed. I'm not twice a day, please. Never gonna happen. But I actually find myself reaching for it twice a day fairly often. Not every day, but I have occasionally used this twice a day and even a few days in a row. And I think that's because I do think maybe it's working. And I'm like, oh, I might put on more of that inhibitive stuff. I wish this was in a body cream. I wish this was in a hydrating body cream that I could just put on my legs twice a day. Because the whole spraying thing, that's annoying. That's really annoying. And I know there are like other hair control products like moisturizers and shaving creams. And after feeling like maybe this was working, I was like, oh, I want to get something that's a bit more easier to use rather than like a spray-on serum. But they're not available in Australia. Can't get that shit. So yeah, anyway, I'll keep using it. I'm pretty happy to use it, and I don't mind the results. I think it might be working a little bit. My fragrance, I have a vanilla roll-on oil here, so you can see where it was when I introduced it to the project and where it is now. Slow going, but that's okay. I might put some on right now. I tend to put this on and then layer it with another perfume because that's what I like to do. My hair product is covered in my hair. It's the Mise en Scene Perfect Repair Hair Oil. So I was here when I, wait, can I, there we go. So I was here when I introduced it into the project, and I'm now down here. It's actually really fucking difficult to see. There we go. So I've used a decent amount. I think it's just going to get harder because the bottle just gets wider and wider, but I do like this oil. I've used up one of these in the past, maybe even 2, or I've got another one of these, I don't know, but I've a lot. I've used it a lot, I've had a lot. It's good stuff. I'm not mad about it. Okay, and my last product to show you some actual progress with is the Laneige Special Care Water Sleeping Mask. So I actually use quite a bit of this. And look, I was a bit on the fence about this. I was like, it's not that great. But using it a bit more regularly, I think I like it. However, what I struggle with is that you're supposed to put this on after you've moisturized. So you put on your moisturizer, you let it do its thing, and then you go in with this and you wear it as a sleeping mask. I think what I struggle with is the fact that once I put on my moisturizer, to me, that means my routine is done. That's like relax time. To remember to come back and put on another one, that's what I kind of struggle with. For me, it's difficult. I really need my last step to be the last step. I can't be coming back to another cream. It just doesn't fit into my routine. I'm quite happy to be using it up, and quite often I do forget to use it, but yeah, I don't think I would buy this again because I find it very difficult to create that new step in my routine, if that makes sense. Before I get on to new products that I'm introducing into the project, I do need to talk about the eyeshadow and the eyeshadow palettes that I used in the project in January. So basically I chose 2 eyeshadow palettes to be working on each month and a single eyeshadow to be working on each month. My single eyeshadow was the Inglot AMC Pure Pigment in 120. It is a gorgeous color. I only used this, look, maybe half a dozen times. It's going to be very difficult for me to show you. So there wouldn't be a lot of progress made with that. In the case of these particular products and my palettes, I do plan on weighing them going forward. I just didn't have scales when I did my introduction, but this is a beautiful color. I love it. I have heaps of these Inglot pigments. They make me very happy, and this year I hope to use them a lot more. For palettes, I had the Bare Minerals Aurora Lights palette. This is well loved from me. I really love this palette and I had a lot of fun with it in January. I've got dips in quite a few of the eyeshadows now, and yeah, I enjoyed using it. Like there's not much to say. It was very nice to use. Another one was the Bare Minerals Regal Wardrobe. Now this is old as the hills, and I don't even care. I even took it away to Bali with me. I love this palette. It is one of my most loved, most treasured palettes. 8 eyeshadows, 4 face products. Yeah, and it's like, look, I had fun. It was fine. It worked well for me in Bali on the one day that I wore makeup. I was very happy with it. So let's talk about products that I am introducing for February. Since we just talked about the eyeshadow and the palettes, let's keep going with them. My single eyeshadow is from Etude House. This is the RD305 Look at My Eyes eyeshadow. So this is one I picked up in Japan actually. It's got a chunk taken out of it, courtesy of my fingernails. This is a sort of nudie brownie ready duochrome. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. These are really nice eyeshadows. I don't use them enough and I would like to get some more use out of it in February. So there's that one. Palettes that I chose. I'm going with the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics. I don't mind this. I don't love it. It's, I think it is actually quite a diverse little palette when you need to inject some mattes into your stash, and that's why I chose this, because my next palette I think I'm going to struggle with the matte options. I've had this for a long time and look, I appreciate it for what it can offer me. It's just not something that I'd be like, oh my god, go and buy that palette right now, you can't live without it. The next palette is actually brand new to me and I've not even used it yet, and if you check out my monthly recap when it comes up, so next video that goes up will be my empties followed by my monthly recap. I'm gonna have an explanation of what the fuck I'm doing, but I have another Pat McGrath palette. This is the Mothership to Sublime palette. Let's open it up. There she is. Let's get her out. Let's see. There we go. So this is an eyeshadow palette. It's a 10-pan eyeshadow palette. There's some duochromes, metallics, some shimmers, and you can probably see why I said I was a bit worried about the mattes. There's a matte black and like a matte brownie plum shade. So I'm gonna have a play with this. Yeah, I'm gonna have a play with it. And no, I did not pay full price for that. I would never, ever, ever pay full price for a Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. I actually ended up with six new Pat McGrath eyeshadow palettes in January. Like I said, I will explain myself in my recap. Okay, so since I finished some products, I need to also introduce some new products. Let's start with bronzer and highlight. So I have decided to play with this for a little while. This is the Too Faced Sweetie Pie Radiant Matte Bronzer. This was one that we featured on the Makeup Breakup, so we did a half pan destruction. I've been using it a little bit now, a little bit in January. It's actually, look, it wasn't the first bronzer that I wanted to pan after the Too Faced one that I finished up. It simply is one that is dark enough for me at the moment. The one that I wanted to pan was the Thin Lizzy 6-in-1 compact bronzer, but like I'm wearing it today, you can hardly see it. It barely touches the sides, whereas this offers a bit more punch. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to keep track of the weight of this and probably only use it for maybe 3 or 4 months before I lose some of my tan and I can bring in the Thin Lizzy one, because that one I really want to finish this year, and realistically I think that this would take me at least a year to use. So it's a big one, 13.5 grams. I might be wrong, I don't know, but I'll keep a track of the weight, keep track of the weight, and might give me a bit of a better idea of how long it'll actually take me to finish up, but it's a big one, so I think it'll take a while. My highlighter that I've chosen is one that I wasn't really expecting to choose, but this is Butterfly Beach from Colourpop. It's a Super Shock Cheek. The reason I chose this one is actually because the color is quite dark, so you can see the highlight there, but then the color itself is quite dark. Since I am currently quite dark, I thought again I would take this opportunity to keep track of this based on its weight and just use it for as long as I can, see if I can get some use out of it. This is, I'm not usually this tanned, like this is a lot of tan for me. So if I can't use this when I'm this tanned, I can't use this ever, and it has to go. So I'm taking the opportunity to see how I feel about this product. Again, I'll keep track of the weight on that one. Lip products. So I have two here. I have my lip balm. I'm going with another one of the Revlon Kiss balms. This is in Berry Burst. And this is actually going to be sort of my last one that I want to pan, which is very exciting. I had two of them, and when I finished the Apple one earlier in January, I started working on, I think it's a cherry one. And the cherry one is actually almost done. I reckon I have like maybe half a dozen applications left in it. So instead of putting that in and finishing it in less than a week, I figured I would take this one, which is the last one I want to finish. I don't mind the color of this one so much. It's a bit more flattering than the apple or the cherry. So I'm really hoping I can use that in a month. Considering how quickly I use the Apple one, I think I can finish that in February. One that I won't be able to finish in February, this is from Nudestix. It is the lip and cheek pencil in Mystic. So this is a really pretty color. There it is, sort of a mauvey shade. I think my issue with this is actually the formula. They're nice, they're pretty, they're opaque, they're glossy. I just feel like they feel quite heavy on the lips, like quite thick. So they're not my favorite. I actually think I have two of these Mystic shades. I'd like to finish one, or at least work on one, and see how I feel about the others that I have in my stash. Am I gonna be able to finish them? So that is what I'm focusing on for like a lipstick product. And the last product that I need to introduce is a nail product, and I'm actually going with a nail treatment product. This is the Nail Growth Formula with green tea and acai. Look, the berries, the berry antioxidants, okay? So this is fairly full. I have marked it here. You might not be able to see that mark, but it's quite full. I use this when my nails are bare, and I'll put on like a coat, and it's not like something that sets. It actually absorbs into the nails. So usually I put it on, wait a sec, put on another coat, wait, put on a third coat, and then it stops absorbing as quickly, and that's when I sort of stop applying and I wait until whenever I'm going to do it again. But that's kind of how I use this, and I actually don't mind it. I like treatments that don't leave your nails really greasy. Don't get me wrong, I love a good oil on the nails. I think that's the best type of treatment. But when I'm like working and stuff, I quite like something that just absorbs, because I don't get crap all over my keyboard or my mouse or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a go, see if I can finish it up. Alright guys, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you feel like watching more Project Pan videos, don't forget you can click on the Team Project Pan hashtag that is below the title of this video, or you can type Team Project Pan into the search bar, and it will bring up other people who are doing this challenge with cat and eye. So they won't be exactly the same. I'm sure everyone has tailored their Project Pan to themselves, but if you feel like watching more Project Pan videos, they are definitely out there for you, and that is a very easy way to find a whole bunch of them. I'm gonna go work on my Project Pan. Not really. I'm gonna film another video, but I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.